Hi, everybody. Welcome to Crypto Therapy, also known as Crypto Happy Hour.
Also known as Unhinged.
Unhinged.
And I'm feeling very unhinged today.
You're feeling very unhinged?
You know it.
All right. So if our therapist and resident clairvoyant analyst is feeling frisky.
Not frisky.
That
means something different.
That means that's different. Okay.
This is not corn.
No. Okay. So speaking of corn, we will be covering disaster corn. That's how we start out with our show.
Absolutely.
Where we talk about all that's wrong with the market and the world. We try to make you feel a little bit better.
Hopefully, that's why we call it therapy. Right?
That's why it's crypto therapy, right? That is crypto therapy is the new runaway hit topic. We will cover. I don't know if you know that Amazon Web Services and the whole internet broke 2 days ago.
I vaguely heard, but I don't watch the news.
Right,
so.
right. Okay, so we'll be covering all the decentralized coins that benefit from that. We usually do it, but we're going to do it. We may do crypto showdown.
Yeah, we could do a showdown.
Right, we have portfolio coins.
Tell them what's different about today.
Okay, so what's different about
this
today
is new. I'm so excited.
This is new. We have a new feature. So because we know people are wrecked, we can actually do the show for 15 minutes. Okay. And then a timer will start, and then it'll just automatically transition to our VIP members.
Yeah. So right now we have all kinds of people on here.
Right. We have
if you're not a member, you can
become a member and join the stream.
Well, or you could just put it in the chat too. But we would love you to be a member.
Yes, you can stay for the free. A timer will show up on the screen, and then at that point, you got 15 minutes to join. Members don't have to do anything. You just sit back,
relax,
right?
Have your
tequila and enjoy your crypto therapy experience.
Yay.
Non-members, you can join for all the good stuff, banter bubbles, where we look at small caps.
Bill's amazing book report.
Right. We have book reports where we're going to discuss the engineered crisis.
So this show may go a little bit longer, which I'm okay with. This way, I'm going to start a little bit earlier.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm excited because we maybe get to meet, or I do get to meet new people. I know you get, because your shows are always free.
Right. I get to meet new people.
Not that I don't love all the members. I do. And you're so sweet. So thank you.
All right. Yeah. We appreciate our members. We appreciate our members cutting us some slack on giving it a little bit free. Okay. So let's start out for the free part with, we call it disaster corn. Where we talk about everything that's wrong with the world.
Well, you do. And then I tell you it's all fabulous.
So. Okay. So I'm just going to go, maybe we can do this in the context of my personal crypto therapy.
I think that's good. Would you like to lay down?
I would. I
got my little notepad.
Yeah.
It's like a traditional Freudian.
In my mouth, you stick the tequila in. Okay, so for disaster corn.
Yes, let's get all the bad stuff out of the way.
Okay. So everyone is bearish crypto.
Not everybody. A lot of people are.
Yeah. All of crypto Twitter is. And if people aren't bearish, they're kind of in a state of chronic worry. Okay.
Yeah.
They're in a state of chronic worry because it seems like every time the market wants to do good, it gets slammed. Now we do have an explanation for that coming up. Okay, but it's it's a little hard on your nerves. Then there's the legacy stuff. The book report has probabilities. We can talk about what you think.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely something wrong with bad loans in the banks.
There's a lot wrong with the banks.
Right. There's a lot wrong with the banks, right?
Mm-hmm. But it's good for crypto.
It's good for crypto?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Everything that looks bad is actually good for crypto. There's so much good going on with crypto. It's hard for me to even see any of the bad stuff.
I see.
Well, if we didn't have the bad stuff, if we didn't have a problem with fiat, if we didn't, there's a problem with fiat. That's why Bitcoin was created, right?
Right.
And so if there were problems with the banks and the financial institutions and the government's printing too much money and the fiat currency and the rigged market,
okay,
why would we even have it? Why would we have crypto? right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable that it. Okay. Well, all right. So let me do as much Q&A as I can.
Okay.
Right. Because I
Tell
know.
me all your problems. Just knock them down.
Okay.
Because I already know the answer to everything, and so do you.
Okay. It's just gold topped today.
That's excellent.
Or so we hope. Gold and silver are down like 7%. Now, just to put that number in perspective, they wiped $1.5 trillion from their market cap today with a 7% drop. That'll show you how much bigger.
Gold?
Right. So the gold market cap fell 1.5 trillion. That's worth more than all of altcoins.
It was only a few days ago, like there were lines for people buying gold. So
right. And
where is the narrative against buying gold? Why?
Well, I mean, it could have been a blow off top, or players are so distressed, the short selling, whatever shenanigans have been going on in gold and silver, that I don't know, big players, they used any weakness in the market as an excuse to come in and try and crush it. And the question is that going to work, or is gold just going to continue? Is it just going to resume?
Well, so then we have to talk about a time frame, right? And so it's like you say to me, will Bitcoin go up? Yes. Yes. Will gold go up? Yes. But the one thing, and we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks, right? And I don't think it's news because now other people are talking about it too, is that gold is being bought up by particular governments as a hedge against the dollar. Right. Nobody wants to use the dollar, internationally anymore. The only real demand for dollar is in the stablecoins. Okay. And stablecoins are going to continue to be a big thing because of that. Because even though the dollar is unstable and everything, there's nothing else, right? In fiat, right? For people to use. So people who are in really bad off economies, we don't even know what that's like yet, right? They're going to use stable coins. So the more that gets adopted, it just opens the door. All of these things just open the door
for crypto.
Yeah, I mean, I heard a guy say, and this is something I've been saying for years. I don't know how long he's been saying it, but it's like investing in crypto is like being able to invest in the early days of the internet, right? And he actually put a time frame as far as adoption. He ran the numbers on the time frame, and he's like, we're in 1996 or 97 of internet adoption. If you compare adoption of technologies, and we're adopting this technology much faster. So if you remember what the early days of internet was like and how we had no idea, that's where we are right now. So if you think you're too late, you're not. You're fine. We're still
almost too
in the 1990s.
You're almost too early.
In a way.
In
a way, you're too early for some things. And I've used this analogy before. When you talk about the layer ones, especially the big ones, right? Those are all like the internet. And then everything that runs on top of it are like the apps or the websites that were built on top of it and all that kind of stuff. So for those, you still have a lot of time. You still have a lot of time with most of the cryptocurrencies, but I think you have less time with Bitcoin. And I would put a shorter time frame on adoption for those that are in the ETFs, right?
Okay. Because
those are going to be hoovered up, as you like to say, hoovered up, a lot more quickly. Right. So, so if you're looking at like, what can I do right now? Put it into the big five, as Bill likes to call them.
Right. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and we think Zcash is number 5. Okay. Member stream is starting in 15 minutes. So if you like what you're hearing, and you need some crypto therapy, please feel free and, sign up and join us. All right. So as an additional sample of what we all do here, Do you want to do Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana with your cards?
Yeah, we can do some, what do you call it? The
Crypto Showdown?
Oh yeah, the Crypto Showdown. We can do some Crypto Showdown, and we can also take a few questions.
Yeah, we can take a couple questions just so you can see what it's like before we go into, book reports and more stuff.
But yeah, we usually do Crypto Showdown later, but we can
Yeah,
start
we can
now.
just throw in the
Okay,
big
so
three.
we're going to do Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana.
Yeah. Now, if you're looking for XRP, you got to stay tuned. Got to stay tuned for VIP. That's a VIP topic. And again, we appreciate all our members. Our members love this stuff. Believe me.
Do they? I hope so.
Yeah, right. And Toby uses these cards to guide her, but she doesn't really need them. She kind of already knows.
That's what I've been told.
Right.
But it's still fun. Ah, the star card, one of my favorites. Page of Wands and the Emperor, all looking really good. But I would say this would be the first mover, right? Because it's not
ETH, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what no one is talking about. Gold and silver go up. ETH is supposed to follow.
Mm-hmm.
And now that gold and silver are going down, we're kind of hoping ETH wakes up. So
well, they're not attached to each other any longer.
Right.
Because
that's your theme of the decoupling, right?
Which I've been talking about for.
So tell everybody about the decoupling. Like, what do you?
I've been talking about for. Well, you've covered it, right?
Right. Well, how crypto doesn't necessarily have to follow.
It doesn't follow
anything in
traditional
legacy.
Markets.
It doesn't have to.
Doesn't follow any other assets. It's its own
beast.
Yeah. So I think this year, like even all the cycles that we've been talking about are going to look very, very different after this year. This was the transition to what the new crypto is how it's going to behave. So it's one of the reasons why I think nobody's getting it right, is because it's behaving in a very, very different manner than it has ever.
Right.
Ever.
It's like a revolution in a way.
It is.
All right. So for more on the revolution, we're going to be doing Gann work on Pluto and Aquarius. Toby's going to take us all through that. And that's in the book report section where we'll talk about the engineered decline and altcoins that we like as a result. Toby has been big. Tell us how you've been. Tell us what the difference in your mind is between the tech part of crypto and meme coins. Because I know you're a huge fan of meme coins. Tell us how
Those of you who've been members for a while, you know how I feel about meme coins. So.
Right.
No, it's fun to play. It's a casino. And I'm not the only one who says that, But this is the part of the show where I give my speech about we're building the platform of the future.
Right.
And for me, utility makes sense. But it fits with my personality, too. Meme coins don't fit with my personality.
Okay.
I don't get it. I mean, the very first show you ever had me on your show as a guest, I picked Pepe. We did the cards.
Right.
And I picked Pepe and it went up massively. And I'm just sitting there going, what is the point of this? What is the point? And it's not like I didn't understand crypto. I've been in crypto for a few years, but I just don't get meme coins. I don't know who Pepe is. I don't,
Right. Because there are a lot of people out there that are probably wrecked. They're probably wrecked in meme coins right now and looking for some kind of guidance. And, do you want to tell me?
My guidance is don't buy meme coins right now. The market that we're in right now. And this is one of the reasons maybe people like to watch our show is because we cover the seasons. Oh, sorry. I'm sneezy today.
It's okay.
My allergies. Is that we like to follow the seasons, and know what do you call them? The cycles within cycles,
right?
That you call. This is not a very good time to be playing with meme coins,
right?
If I had any, I probably just wait and see if they go up when the rest of the market goes up. And I mean, I don't know. That's such an imaginary scenario for me to envision. I don't know what I would do, but there's so many other good things that are a better long-term bet.
So you actually do think the tech part of crypto can come back?
Absolutely.
But
We're building the future internet.
right. So speaking of the future, I know your next door neighbor is George Jetson. Do you want to tell people where and when you live? Do you want to sort of give people like, because I know you've been into like thought leadership podcasts lately. Do you want to tell anybody about what you've been?
I sent you those because I'm like, oh, this is what I'm talking about. Because sometimes what I'm saying, I don't have the language, the Wall Street language.
Right, I'm the translator. If anyone's wondering, right?
So no, well, the thing is that, I live in 2050. That's what we say, and I'm traveling back in time. And I actually wrote a novel that takes place in 2050 that talks about where we're heading with all of this, in a very interesting techno thriller, science fiction kind of way. But I think, this is the most important time in history to be involved in crypto. And the only mistake you can make right now is not being in crypto. And like I said in the last show, I think we've got 5 or 6 really good years of investing. And there'll still be things to do, because just like, the internet, there's going to be all these new projects. But I do look at it. I look at, the platforms and the layer ones as being the platform of all of the Web3, all of the future. Everything we're doing is going to rest on these, right? And so everything built on top of them is like the initial, websites that came out. Some of them crash, some of them stay in business, so we look for utility. When I'm picking in the bubbles and stuff, I'm looking if it fits into a narrative of what we're going to need in the future, right? And I'll just say, this isn't a hard one, but I really expect, especially DeFi, to rebound, especially early DeFi, which goes along with the ETH prediction that I just did. I think along with Bitcoin, we'll see some movement in the DeFi markets, and we'll look for signs of that. Which fits
with ETH. All right. So Peyton is saying, what about those whales today liquidating heat maps? Okay, one of the best tools out there.
I don't look at that stuff, so Bill has to tell me.
Okay, so that means there was a strange rally today. So crypto started out down, right, massively. Not massively, but I mean, crypto.
And then it went up, and then it was liquidated.
Right, then gold went down, and then crypto went way up, kind of. And then crypto came back down, and it was like a big stalemate. Thank you for coming in. So, Peyton is basically saying, and again, member stream coming up in 15 minutes, right? 2 minutes left to join the member stream to get all the great information we have on small caps and on crypto.
So why are whales selling? Is that the question?
Yeah. Well, he's asking, he's looking for color as to why whales are headed for the door.
I don't think they're headed for the door.
You don't?
No. I mean, they're liquidating, but no. The whales are not getting out of the market. That's a beautiful narrative made up by somebody who wants to get you out of the market. They're not. They're just not. That's all I can say. They're just not. What we might be seeing is mainly or maybe some mining operations that are maybe liquidating part of it. Here's the beautiful thing. So you have these whales, and they're dumping all this in the market. And you know what? Crypto's not dropping that much, right? Bitcoin's not dropping that much. There is so much demand, and that's why they keep suppressing it, because there is so much demand in these companies coming in to hold this Bitcoin that it's just getting absorbed. We're not seeing the big crashes. In fact, if you look over time in the history of Bitcoin, every crash has been around the point of the last high. Right. So what are we afraid of? When you have a 6 or 7 year history of something crashing, but it's still not crashing below the highest. You know, that's what I always look at with coin when I
Right.
go on the thing. I'm like, is it hitting higher lows? Because to me, that's strength building. That's momentum building. So we've never had a crash